This is the first video of my lecture series. Normally we will be talking about various algebra topics, but since this is the first video, I'm going to be talking about some tips on taking notes. Taking notes is about keeping yourself organized. In all of the classes I teach, the topics that we talk about are revisited at a later time. And in the past, most of my students have had a hard time finding their notes from old topics because they weren't very organized. The first important thing is that you should have your pencil and paper ready before the teacher starts talking or before you start watching the video. Often, the first thing your teacher will say is important, and if you aren't ready to take notes, then you will already be behind. Next, you want to have a separate notebook or binder for each class. Sometimes students will have a binder with multiple tabs, and that's okay, but you want to keep your notes separate from each class. Many times I will ask students to find something in their notes, and I will see people turning through pages of history notes or English notes, and they'll have trouble finding the work for each class. Keeping things separate will help you find what you are looking for faster. One of the most common habits I see when students are taking notes is they want to completely fill the page. This is not always a good thing. If you can't find the information you're looking for quickly, then your notes aren't effective. In most cases, it is better to have 3 or 4 problems on a page and be able to glance over them quickly than to have 7 or 8 problems all crammed together. Leaving extra space in your notes will also allow you to go in later and write additional information if needed. Putting the name of a topic as well as the date at the top of a section of notes will help you find what you're looking for much faster. As I have said, taking notes is all about organization, but looking at old notes is all about finding information quickly. Labeling will help you do this. Using different colors can also help you organize. For instance, you might decide to write all of your definitions in red or all of your formulas in green. This strategy will help you look through your notes much more efficiently. Write down everything written by your teacher. If your teacher took the time to write it down, then chances are it's important and you need to write it down. That being said, if you have not written down everything that has been on these slides, go ahead and rewind this video and copy down those slides. If a teacher repeats something, then it is important. Write it down. If a teacher repeats something, then it's important. Write it down. If a teacher repeats something, then it is important. Write it down. Write down all definitions that the teacher gives to you. Even if you think you know what the word means, often the definition given to you by the teacher has a very specific meaning that you are either going to have to use or to repeat later on. If a teacher speaks too quickly, ask them to slow down. Remember to be polite when you ask, say please and thanks. If you are taking notes from a video, then you don't need permission because you have a pause and a rewind button. Make good use of them. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Many times, I will think students have understood an idea or problem because no one has asked any questions. Chances are, if you have a question, then there are several people in the room who have the same question. Asking questions can help your teacher out by letting them know what you understand and where you need more practice. The last point I want to make is that you should always review your notes several hours after you take them. This can be as simple as reading your notes over to make sure everything makes sense. Going through and reviewing new information at a later time will help you remember things for better, longer periods of time. I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope that you continue to watch the rest of my lecture series. Thank you for watching.